Arise, minions, and welcome to unMadeGaming. We are here. Look at this. Look at this whole thing. We got a whole thing. We're here. We're squares. Yeah, we got a whole fucking crew. This is our first episode of our One Ring second edition campaign. So a few things. One, this is the first time any of us have played this game, despite the fact that we announced it 6 months ago. Most of us don't know how to play the games. Some of us are making their characters right this moment. But that's okay.
Actually, remaking.
Sure. I have no proof otherwise.
Actually, you do, because while you were gone, we commandeered your channel to make our characters on this stream. So you do have video proof that we did this.
Okay. All right. Touche. The second announcement I have to make about this show. Why is my camera so fucking far away? I gotta fix that. This is our first official on the channel long-term campaign. This is not a 12-week campaign. This campaign goes until it goes. There is no seasons. There is no whatever. There is no limited number of episodes. This campaign is on until it's done. And that's cool. We all wanted to do that and jump in and have some fun in Middle-earth, in the ass end of the Third Age, and here we are.
The wonderful land of Erebor, where nothing ever goes wrong.
Yeah.
Mike? Of course.
Yeah, Eriador is fun. Like I've told everyone, if you've been part of the Patreon prep shows, all of the events of The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings basically takes place over the Misty Mountains. Nothing really happens here except for the Shire, and then they leave. They leave immediately and go fuck off on the other side of the mountain range. So nothing happens here. You guys are fine. Just the destruction of several kingdoms in a row in rapid succession. That's okay. That's okay. That's neither here nor there.
Yeah, we're just going to be staying in this tavern for the next entire season, so it's fine.
Yeah. You guys are going to live in, it's going to be one day in Middle-earth. Yep. It's just the same day over and over again. That being said...
Middle-earth Groundhog Day?
Yeah. That being said, if you guys like what we do here and you want to support the channel, the best way to do that is over on our Patreon. Link for that down below. While you're clicking on that link to check that out, click on that Discord link and join us over in the Discord. Be a part of the community. Be a part of the conversation. And as always, you can find the corruption bar in the bottom right-hand corner. That bar serves two purposes. One is when that bar fills, I get to unleash chaos on the players here, and it's going to be so good. It's going to be so good, given all the people I have here, especially Dot as a player. Ooh, I can't wait. Two, every single dollar that goes into that bar goes back to these wonderful faces that you see here before you. That being said, let me click on my notes here. It is the year 2965 of the Third Age, and the Shadow is returning. 24 years ago, an alliance of elves, men, and dwarves defeated a horde of orcs and the last great dragon of Middle-earth, ushering in a new era of prosperity for the free people. However, 20 years is a long time for peace to last, and in many dark corners of the earth, a shadow is lengthening once more. Rumors of strange things happening outside the borders of civilized lands are spreading with increasing regularity. And though most are dismissed as fireside tales and children's stories, they sometimes reach the ears of individuals who recognize the sinister truth they hide. One such rumor-filled fireside is the Hearth at the Inn of the Prancing Pony, and that is where our story begins. The five of you are sat in various places around the fireside hearth at the Inn of the Prancing Pony. There is the normal din and tavern music and discussion and sloshing of ale and cheers and a few songs being sung about drinking and fighting. Whispers are had, shady corners are shaded. People walk in and out, up and down the stairs. But you five are sat around the hearth. So, to start our official You Meet in the Tavern, let's go around and introduce our characters, starting with the most ostentatious of us, Glofrim, daughter of Gloin. Who are you? Where are you sitting in the tavern, and what the hell are you doing?
Glofrim is a dwarf, which is very obvious, but she is clearly a female dwarf, which is often only rumored about across Middle-earth. There are a lot of untruths when it comes to dwarven lifestyle for reasons. They have their reasons, but it's very secretive, and you don't see a lot of female dwarves outside the mountains. But Glowfrom is there, and
she's from the line of Durinkin, and she is picking her teeth with a blacksmithing hammer. But on the back end, it comes to a point, as if you could knock stone free with it. She doesn't carry another weapon other than maybe a small boot knife, and she sits pretty jollily, drinking and picking her teeth and smoking her pipe and sitting with friends, because her favorite thing in the whole world is collecting stories and songs and tales of the peoples of Middle Earth. And it just so happens that she has a rather eccentric group of friends here at the Prancing Pony this evening, and so she's listening out for what might be the tale of all tales.
At first, I wasn't ready for the voice edit, and then I also didn't know Dot could do a Scottish accent, so today's a learning experience for me. Outstanding. Let's go across the room to Willie the Hobbit. Willie, what are you doing? Where are you sitting? And what do you look like?
Well, I think for a minute there, little Willie is a hobbit. Bright curly hair, very auburn colored, and has himself a fine little beard, which is quite not typical for a bunch of hobbit folk, but he is a Harfoot. So that typically allows for them to have a little beard, little facial hair, as does Willie have. He's just making his way back, actually, sitting down somewhere near probably Glowfrom and Elvornith, and excitedly sits down in the center of the table a little coin. And this little coin, he's very excited, and he says to his friends, "Mates, this right here, just traded a fella. This is an elvish coin, minted back in the 1500s. Goes back quite a way. Not sure if it's real, not sure if it's fake, don't really care. It's quite good craftsmanship either way. What say you?"
I'd put a bet down that Elvornith's older than the coin.
Speaking of which, Elvornith, please, who are you? What are you doing here in this tavern? And is that coin real?
Elvornith, the camera kind of pans over to a slightly shady area. This area of the table is a little bit more in the corner, out of the way, and you see a slight figure with very long dark hair, kind of lean forward and look at the coin for just a moment and say, "Well, yes, it's real." And as she kind of leans into the light, you can kind of see that while her accessories do have a very elvish make to them, she is definitely wearing clothes of men, at least outer garments of men. She's got a corselet on that's dark brown leather, almost black, with age, and some very, very bright gold and red details around her hips and just under her arms as she moves. But everything outside is very dark, is very, very much meant to conceal her in that little corner. But she looks over and says, "As far as age, it's rather rude to ask, don't you think?"
Not where I come from. Your age means everything.
I suppose so.
Now, Aris, just for my own clarification and for our viewers here, when you say your garb is made in the style of men, is that a capital M, as in humans, or like male elves? Like it's a male style of armor.
M as in humans.
Okay, cool. Just want to make sure.
Yes.
Speaking of humans, as it were,
Close to men. No, not skinning people. Elvornus is not in the habit.
No, I meant like male elf, like elven male attire, or the attire of humans.
The attire of humans.
Okay, cool.
Rather than elvish. She's got a lot of elvish details, especially on the underlayers, as she moves and gestures around the table. Her cloak kind of opens a little bit, and you can see like underneath. She's definitely got elven clothing on, but she is covering it in human garb.
Okay, cool. And speaking of humans, let's go over to Urgoth. Who are you? What do you look like? And what are you doing in this tavern?
Yeah, you'll see Urgoth kind of looming over and kind of watching his companions talk about the coin, and he kind of smirks underneath his hood. He's draped in this kind of like dark leathery, dark forest color cloak with some what looks like very mismatched fur and pelts kind of as shoulder armor. And he's kind of like in front of him, very neatly organized and very, very symmetrically. He has some odd utensils and tools kind of laid out professionally. He has his what seems to be a very, very long well-crafted spear laid out, and a skinning knife perfectly straight, and then a couple of little sharp little figurines and little tools and netting and all this kind of organized. And he's kind of like OCD like organizing and touching it and like rearranging it, seeing what works perfectly. And he's just kind of smirking and loves to listen in and absolutely fascinated by this coin while eating a piece of bread and every once in a while sneaking a piece of potatoes or little chunks of meat and just kind of like sneaking it away as if he doesn't want people to know that he's eating, you know. So he doesn't really say anything. He's just kind of chill, smirking and just hanging out.
Okay. And last but not least, I'm doing this just for me because we discovered this in character creation. Orphan the Orphan. Who are you? What are you doing in this tavern? And please describe what you look like for us.
Orphan, also known as the Dunedain, one of the rangers of the north. And you see this man. He's quite young looking, more so than most rangers that you've come across. He has an onset of just like a 5 o'clock shadow, just something that's growing barely there, but clearly something he wants, otherwise he would have shaved it. He has longish hair that he's tied up into a bun. As far as the outfit goes, it's very utilitarian, quite travel-worthy, travel-worn. It's got just a very simplistic leather corset that's wrapped over some just typical cloth clothing on top. A nice little what's it called? A cloak, just that's with the hood down behind him. And next to him, on one side, is a very well-fashioned shield, a buckler, something that looks quite hardy, that can take quite a few blows. But on the other side, in contrast to that shield, and perhaps even in contrast to Urgoth's spear, you see what seems to be almost a handmade spear, something that someone might have fashioned on the travel there. So it's not master classman-like, but well-worn, well-used. The one thing you do notice is that the tip of the spear, the actual weapon portion of it, is quite sharp, sharper than what one would consider, and very well maintained. Outside of that, he's just quietly pondering and then looks over at the coin and goes, "So, where did you say you happen to come across that?"
Oh, I was just chatting with the lads over there, and they mentioned that they had something shiny, and I am a man of trade, and ended up trading them because I thought that it was fake, but I still thought it was fantastic craftsmanship. So I convinced them that it was fake. and they traded it.
Just like that.
Just like that.
You tricked him out of his gold coin.
No, trickery is such a lowly word, and I am no low hobbit.
You finagled.
What did you trade?
3 dwarves coin.
You traded him just regular coin.
No. I had found those a long time ago, and they're silver of some sort. Maybe.
Well,
I don't really know. I'm not a coinsmith.
You know what, Willie? I'm not here to judge you, and honestly, if the man was dense enough to take a silver piece for a gold piece, no matter what kill it was made in, then it sounds to me like he was duped.
I wouldn't say that it was a duped sort of situation. I would say that it was a fair trade.
Fair trade, my friend, is when both parties know what they're getting into and know the true value. So therefore,
I would not say that's a fair trade, because sometimes something means more to one person than it means another, simply because, well, it's got meaning bigger than value, right?
I ended up trading 3 dwarvish coins for 1 elvish coin.
Wait a second, you traded a dwarf? Those were my dwarvish coins.
Well, I thought I won fair and square from you.
Technically, they're my daddy's dwarvish coins.
Well, now we have this nicer elvish coin.
And now, technically, the coins are that strangers over there.
Will, you mind if I take a look at that coin?
Yeah, but of course. And I'll go ahead and toss it his way.
And then I grab it. Fantastic, omnipotent lore master. Would I be able to examine this coin and see what the value of it would be? Is there anything inherently different from any kind of, like, is it worth a fair trade that Willie did?
Yeah, let's find out. Let's find out. Let's have the first roll of the campaign on something entirely useless.
I knew it.
Was it a fair
I would say
trade?
that this was useless. I'm establishing character boundaries here.
Yeah.
My role as the treasure hunter here of this group.
Exactly. I want
Yeah.
you to know the value of
Plot
trade
driven.
is incredibly important to Urgoth.
Yeah. That's fine. Everyone at home thought the coin was somehow relevant to the plot, and
it's the one coin
right now.
The one coin to rule them all.
You can
the
roll
one
me
coin to shatter the crown.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Oh.
I mean, money does things, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw it at somebody.
You can roll me either a lore roll or a song roll.
A lore roll.
Now, just so we have, this is not a learn to play channel, but just so everyone here sort of knows, there are 3 main stats for this game: strength, heart, and wits. Each one comes with its own target number. So for you, a song roll would need to beat a 15, whereas a lore roll would need to beat a 17. So that's kind of how your stats work.
And that number is made of 2 separate dice pools.
Yeah.
One of D6s that is based on the number of dots you have next to the skills. So how many do you have next to lore?
For I would prefer to do song.
Song. How many? Yeah, for song. How many for song?
I have 1 dot.
Okay. So you're going to roll 1d6 in this pool plus a d12, which is it is your, what do they call that die?
It's called a feat die.
Feat die. That's it. It's a feat die. And is your song got a checkbox next to it filled?
No, it does not.
Okay, so you'll just roll 1d12 and 1d6 and hope to be able to meet your what Mike was saying was meet the modifier.
Am I able to just like do like
1d6 so for the purposes of roll 20, see that little circle next to the word song? Just click on that button.
It'll roll the die. That's the die roll.
Easy.
Yep, and then it'll tell you if you pass or fail.
That's it. You know how to play the game. The end.
Boop, boop, ba-doop. There it is.
Son of a
You
bitch.
failed.
The D6 total's on the right, the other one's on the left.
So you look at this coin, you kind of flip it over in your hand, looking at the back of this, looking at the front of this, etc. It's a silver coin. It's worth 1 silver coin. He paid 3 silver coins for it, so technically speaking, they got the better deal.
Huh.
Could I possibly roll along with that with a lore instead of a song?
I like that you're trying to sell me on a skill that you have a shitload of points in.
I don't have a shitload. I only have 2. It's not even my best.
Yeah. And it's favored.
I could have asked you to roll. I could have asked you to roll scan.
No, you can't do that. Go ahead and roll for lore.
Okay. Oh, I failed by just a little bit. Okay.
That's true.
Well, there it is.
Yeah, so same thing. You're fairly certain that it is silver. As a dwarf, you are nearly positive this is silver, right? Or it's someone around here has an amazing forgery of silver. This is silver, and unless this coin has some sort of special value, it's still just a silver piece. And therefore, if he spent 3 dwarvish silver pieces, those are also just a silver piece. The maker of the coin doesn't change the worth of the coin unless it has some sort of significant meaning, and you're fairly certain this does not.
Well, in actuality, I'm pretty sure you're the one who paid extra. But, if it means something to you, then it was worth the extra 2, silver pieces for the one.
Well, I mean that's kind of the point of being able to trade is like you said yourself, who holds the value. And I personally tend to find that I am more of a fan of the more intricate designs of the Elvish.
What are you saying? The dwarvish coin, is it intricate?
Well,
tread lightly there, Willie.
Harshness, to be fair, that comes with the with the dwarvish artistry.
Well, it's because we don't even like gold coins. We prefer gems.
Well, Willie, I would say you paid for a good lesson, and then I'm going to toss it back to Willie.
As you toss this, go ahead, KP.
I think the biggest lesson here is that we now have 2 less coins to pay for this dinner.
But we have a conversation.
It's true. If nothing else, it was a talking point.
I'd say that was worth the value.
Oh, wow. That's the whole campaign, guys. It's just going to be this for the next 2 years.
We told you that we're going to be just having a podcast in here.
Yeah. The cast has threatened me with staying in the Prancing Pony.
It's not a threat, it's a promise. No,
I will burn it to the ground. All 9 ring wraiths attack and burn the whole tavern to the ground.
This campaign is going to be long, and
Morgoth returns.
Yeah.
But here we go.
Yeah, I know you guys know the events of Lord of the Rings, but somehow Morgoth comes back from the fucking twisting nether. And
our
just
presence alone is infuriating enough that his fire burns hot enough that he returns.
All the rest of the Valor are like, what the fuck?
What did that one tavern do to them?
Like, holy shit, I thought we killed that guy 7,000 years ago. As the coin sort of end over end flips through the air back towards Willie. Glowfram, you are a collector of words, let's say.
I'd say rare. Wait.
Rare and exotic things.
Stories are a big one of yours, and despite the interest that this coin may or may not present to this group, or the conversation that it may or may not have started, you acutely trained in overhearing things, perhaps. You hear that the talk of the tavern has sort of turned towards a local matter. In fact, it's enough to make you look away from the coin and sort of listen a little deeper towards what's happening. It appears that in the village of Bree, there's a bit of a scandal that is to be happening. A man of little consequence, a decent fellow, has died.
What's his name?
His name was Timius Heatherton.
All right.
He was a simple man. He had a nice little house in Bree. People thought he might have had money. People thought he might have had a lot of things. But he was just a regular man. They had a funeral for him. Many people attended. But the talk...
How did he die?
of natural causes. The talk wasn't about his death. The talk is about a scandal in which his nephew did not attend the funeral.
Where was his nephew?
That is the question of the hour.
Boom, boom.
Dun,
All
dun,
right.
dun, dun,
Starting
dun.
off with high stakes, guys.
I say, all right, okay. Come in close now. Don't make a scene or nothing. Just. All right, so we may have to pour some tea for this, if you know what I mean. But word
only have
round,
beer.
yes, well, word round the bumble bushes. There's a man town over. He died. You see, all his friends and family come. He's good man. Natural causes, the Orcs, except for his nephew. And there's questions about why wasn't his nephew there? I'm sure he wanted to get his inheritance, whatever it was he's left behind, mourn the loss of his uncle. No, it didn't show. Just listen. Everybody's talking about it. But you didn't hear it from all Glowfrom. No.
No, stranger things have happened around these parts.
What sort of stranger things have been happening? Then a nephew not attending his uncle's funeral.
It's true.
That's almost blasphemy. It's rude.
I'm not saying it's
uncourtly.
Especially
I'm
in
not saying it's
Bree.
wrong. I'm just saying that things have happened. I'm sure that others have gone missing, or we've been on the road. We've seen things have happened. We know how dangerous things might be.
Oh yes, it was old Uncle Heatherton, Timmy's Heatherton.
No.
It's a perfectly good human name, KP.
Do I know? I'm pretty well traveled here out in Bree and between Bree and Hobbiton. Would I know the Heathertons?
Would you know the Heathertons? You would know of them in like a tangential passing knowledge that they are a family that exists, right? However, if you would like to roll me a riddle check, maybe you've heard more.
Oh, well, I just so happen to be pretty darn good at riddles.
Oh, riddle Willy this.
And Glowfrom, as the overhearer of said knowledge, perhaps, allegedly, if you would like to roll me a riddle, you're welcome to as well.
Oh, can I riddle as well? I can. That's a very good success.
Is a success from Willie and a failure from Glowfrom. Willie, you have heard of the Heatherton name, especially Timmy's. Apparently, allegedly, Timmy's used to travel around, which is not uncommon for the Men of Bree. There's a lot of trading coming out of here, but it wasn't just traveling, is the going rumor. Some people might say he was adventuring, which, as we know, is just a fucking weird thing to do in this day and age. Who adventures anymore? But he may have adventured with strange and possibly unwholesome fellows. It is believed he brought back a fair bit of coin, enough to live off for years, of which, allegedly, he shared very little with family and friends.
So what do you know, Willie?
So I also just so sorry about that. I realized that I was typing and I didn't hit my mic on mute. Nobody fucking said anything.
We didn't hear it. I didn't hear it.
Great. Good. Mike's doing what it's supposed to be doing. See, I find this a bit interesting. Quite because you see, Timmy's was kind of known to be a wanderer, but not necessarily. This is all allegedly. I don't want to be soiling a dead man's name. But allegedly, he was out there adventuring.
No.
Yes.
Now what would a basic Timmy's be doing out there adventuring?
Well, what does anybody want to be going out adventuring for?
There's
looking for
nothing
coin?
out there ever for a coin. They should just come to you. They'd get a better deal.
Just trading the
Well,
dwarves
I
coins.
always found that. Go ahead.
Now, here's the thing, though. Allegedly, he was out there with a bunch of rather unsavory fellows.
All
Did still
ragtags.
return with quite a bit of coin, but didn't give any to his family.
Well, that makes it all the stranger. His nephew didn't show to get his piece of the coin his uncle was sitting on. Don't you think?
What if we listen in? Maybe do we know if the coin was even distributed to the family?
I literally only know what I might have heard from the rotund fella at the bar.
So what if you offer the rotund fella at the bar an extra drink for the evening? Get those lips loose.
Well, you only got one silver coin now, so drinks on you.
I suppose so, and I take the coin out, sit it down on the table. But who is way better at talking to rotund men? Certainly ain't little old Willie.
Well, you got me there, Willie. When you put it like that, I guess it has been, at least a few drinks since I spoke to a rotund man. Calling me out like that. You're still paying for the drinks.
Glowfram, daughter of Gloin, finder of rare antiquities, keeper of secrets, and speaker to rotund men. Outstanding.
It's a skill.
I need a movie poster.
Yeah, my goal is to have you laugh that mustache off.
Won't happen.
Are you headed over there, Glowfram, to talk to said rotund man?
Yeah, whoever I think probably knows the most information, maybe somebody from Bree, or maybe the person I actually overheard it originally from.
Yeah,
this is going to be bad.
Yeah, you look around the room here and you see that there is kind of like Elverneth in the corner a little bit. You see that there is a fellow dwarf with a small traveling company with him. There's two hobbits from the neighboring. So Bree is actually a series of different like villages. One of which is called Staddle, where some Bree hobbits live. There are a couple of hobbits from Staddle. They're loud and singing, and there was some jovial dancing.
Staddle hobbits?
Yeah, some Staddle hobbits. There's a couple of strange-looking wanderers, which is common for the prancing pony. And you see that there is a small group of people that are definitely sauced and definitely look like they could use a good fight. Among those, as interspersed, are just people from Bree. One of which is this rotund fellow at the bar. You see him. He is rotund. He is pot-bellied, suspended wearing. He has a work shirt that is quite dirty from the day's labor, and the nearer you get to him, the more there's just a faint whiff of what cannot be mistaken, or can only be interpreted as pig shit. He has a large, bushy, unkempt beard, and little to no hair on the top of his head, but so much on the sides and back.
What is this handsome fella's name?
His name is Jeff. His name is Randolph.
Randolph?
Randolph. And you know,
fancy name for such a pigly fella.
Well,
does he have a red nose?
Randolph the pig farmer. He does not have a red nose. He has a bulbous nose. And you, having been here at the Prancing Pony for some days, if not weeks, he's a fairly regular purveyor of mediocre to fine ales.
All right. I saunter up to the bar.
Mm-hmm.
Cup empty. Looking for just a refill. A bit thirsty. And I slam my cup down and I say, I'd like another one. And another one for this gentleman here. It looks like you could use it after such a hard day's work.
You see behind the bar is Barnaby. Barnaby is the purveyor of the Prancing Pony. Handlebar, mustache. You see that he is moving back and forth all across the bar here. he immediately grabs your cup, not even giving you a word. He grabs your cup, gives you a quick smile, reaches over, grabs Randolph's cup, and he reaches under the bar. You hear the squint of a tap opening, and the pouring of ale. And
I put some extra gold down, and there's only room enough in this tavern for one handlebar mustache, and he knows it.
Unfortunately,
and this feud has been going on for a minute.
Yeah, unfortunately, he has the upper hand here as he owns the bar.
Well, but my gold is paying for it, just like everybody else's. And I slide an extra coin and I say, this one's for you. So you can make sure to get some better, oil for your mustache. You're looking a little bushy today.
He places the ale in front of you. He places the ale in front of Randolph. And his eyes sort of narrow on you. And you can see his hands are fidgeting underneath the bar top where you can't see them. And you can hear this, like, wet squelch. And he raises his hands up, and there is some sort of, like, goo, a putty in his hands. And he smooths it out across and down.
Oh, you think you overdid it just a little bit? No, okay.
And then he
unlike
slicks the hair back.
Mustache, this handsome man here's got a perfectly bushy beard.
He looks
happening.
Yeah,
go ahead. Can we hear this conversation from where we're at? Okay.
I'm gonna. So as episode 1, I'm gonna start a precedence here. You can hear Glowfrom from anywhere she is, unless she says you can't.
Okay.
Dwarves only talking barely audible or yelling.
And then singing, sometimes with singing.
And sing, which is always in yelling.
As this is happening,
yeah.
I put you see Orphan reach into his pouch, and he doesn't have to dig deep. There's not much in there, and he pulls out one silver coin and puts it in the middle, and he goes, "Who here wants to take a bet on how this is going to go?"
I love that.
I immediately throw 2 coins on the table.
Raising the bar.
Oh.
I put 2 silver coins on the table and I say she's going to get kicked out tonight.
What about you? What about you, Lily?
Quietly. Glowfrom can't hear that.
Oh, she can't.
Two coins say Glowfrom's taking this fella home.
I say 2 coins that she also gets kicked out tonight.
You know what? I'll go with Willie. We'll split the table in half. Let's see how this
going to be
goes.
split in the table in half.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Handsome Man with the bushy beard.
So Barnabas looks to you, full gelled coif and hair, and he looks over to Randolph, and he says, "You be watching out for this one. She's a bit of a, the rough and tumble kind."
That's it.
And he gives you a nod and begins to wait on other patron.
He's in jest. He doesn't know anything. I'm as delicate as a dandelion. Look at me. In fact, that's why I came over here, because I'm desperate to be held by strong arms.
Now, Dot, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being an actual dandelion, where would you think Glowfrom falls?
About a 2.5.
Okay, cool. And I think the half is generous.
I have had a few tonight. I've got my wiggle jiggle on.
When's it off? Randolph looks at you. Jesus. Randolph looks at you, already several cups deep, you can tell by the rosy pink color of his cheeks. And he looks at this fresh cup of ale that you've just procured for him, and a random series of coins that are scattered around the bar top here.
Right.
And he kind of belches into his hand. He says, "Little miss, what can I do for you?"
Did you call me little?
You're about 2 or 3 heads smaller than me.
I'll have you know, Bushbeard, I am tall for me family. Got a few inches on me brother. Who are you to call me small? You know, I was coming over here to stroke your ego and maybe some more, but now I'm challenging you to a drinking game. Let's see who's the little one.
I'm thinking that the only thing you'll be stroking is that fancy mustache of yours, right? How's that?
Don't worry. It doesn't need to be stroked. But if I do it, I enjoy it.
I hate this. Okay.
Just a quick question. You don't hear this, right?
Oh yeah, you can't not.
Okay. In the back, I'm gonna lift up my mug and be like, "You tell him, Glorgo." And I just do a little chug.
You just
absolutely.
My hands go into my face. I'm lose about my silver, don't I?
You're for sure losing it.
Okay.
So you challenge this man to a drinking contest.
I sure do. I've got some endurance to get through.
I love that for everyone involved. What do I have you roll for a drinking contest? Not a list of skills. It turns out.
It is not. I mean, it could be who's got the biggest endurance. How big's his endurance?
What I'm gonna after a few pints of ale, it just gets bigger. I'm gonna have you roll me.
Oh no.
An awe.
All right. Okay. Hold your breath, everyone. This is not my best skill. Oh. I failed.
Okay.
Very badly.
Awe in this capacity measures your capacity to provoke the respect of onlookers and determine the impression you make by having
I don't need their respect. I just need to be the last lady standing.
You sure do. That's what we'll say. You sure do. He is going to attempt to beat your.
Is he going to out-awe me?
He's going to try. He's going to try to out-awe you.
No way. I will shave his beard in the middle of the night if he wins.
I would also like to see that. So he's going to roll a basic amount of things against your target number, which is a 15. He also fails. However, so describe what it looks like as you challenge this man to a drinking contest, and you drink first.
Well, it looks like a dwarven lady drinking a pint of ale. What you mean, what's it look like? I open my gullet and chug it.
There we go. I was going to say, I think we all have a different opinion of what a lady drinking ale might look like, as opposed to what a dwarven lady might look like. So very snake-like, jaw unhinges and ale slides down this gullet. This man does the same. He sees you press the flagon to your lips. He immediately grabs the other one and tips his head back. A good third of the cup is down the front of him. Same with you, but you can't tell because of the mustache and flyaways. But, you both look worse for the wear. He slams the flagon down, loud belch, and he says, "All right, you challenging, you're ordering the next one." And there's a slight sway to his countenance.
You bet your bottom dollar. Slap him on the shoulder. And I say, I came over here to ask you a question, and I can't for the life remember what it was. It's all this mourning I'm going through over the loss of that poor man. Let's get another round for the man's name. I don't remember. What was his name? Timothy? No. Timotheus? No. I'm drunk. Timius. Heathenson or something like that.
Okay.
It was a good man. Another round in honor of him.
Barnaby comes over, grabs both flagons, looks at Randolph, looks at you, and you can tell he's taking the measure of both of you before he turns, and you can hear that same squeak of the nozzle as he pours you both a new flagon. And if you'd like to continue challenging this man to a drinking contest, you may roll me another awe.
Okay. Well, it could only go well as long as I get the information. I guess it doesn't really matter what state I'm in. Here
That's
we go.
true. And if that's not a dwarf motto, I don't know what is.
Right?
It is a feat success. You know what that means? That means I got a 12 on me feat die. That's like a critical success. Ha.
It is like a critical success. So a 12 on the feat die, a Gandalf rune on the feat die means an automatic success regardless of the rest of the numbers. So you have succeeded in a grand fashion, meaning I'm not even going to roll for this. This guy gets a few sips down before there's a... And there, he swallowed something that wasn't beer, for sure. And he looks to you and he says... Oh, you.
Oh, he's going down. He's going down.
Just did you know him, Timaeus?
Yeah, no, we all know him. He was he's a right good fellow. That man. He was a bit of a strange man. He was. I'm thinking he was an adventurer. I'm thinking he might have been some kind of brigand. And he kind of motions to like the four rough-looking tumble guys over there in the corner. I'm thinking he might have had some kind of gold stashed away, if you know what I'm saying. Which is what I said.
Are you insinuating that because I'm a dwarf?
No.
I challenge you.
No, I don't know what that word means, if I'm being honest.
I guess what I'm saying is, Randolph.
That's me. Why?
You know, I was a little broken-hearted, especially when I heard his nephew didn't come, and I feel real obliged to pay his family, my condolences, tell him in person. But
listen,
I don't know what
little lady, you don't even know the half of it.
Little lady?
Not only did little Thomas not come to the funeral, right? Listen to this. He was found searching, right? The house. When everyone else was out at the funeral and the burial, he was found inside the house. He had torn the place apart, like he was trying to steal, like a thief in the night, but in the day.
Well, where is he now?
I don't know.
So they saw him stealing.
Yeah, he ran for it.
The day.
Yeah.
And then he ran.
He ran for it.
Him.
Nobody caught him.
Well, what do
Perhaps
we know
it was
about...
the morning.
You know what?
What?
I say you win.
That's right. I did win. You're entirely right.
Big man. And I'm just a little
lass.
A little lass.
Yeah, that's right. And he like stands up. And there's a moment where like he stands up and then his ass hits the stool again. And then he stands up. And he sort of goes to pat you.
Wait, okay, when he stands up that time to go to pat me, I just reach down to my side where I keep me book and me pen.
Mm-hmm.
And I squirt pen ink on the seat for his ass hits it once more.
Love that.
As he pats me on the head and I say,
yeah.
You know, it was really good getting to chat with you, Randolph. I don't know. Please go away.
Well, how it is you came up to me, so I'm gonna sit back down and you can carry on with whatever you was doing,
sure
and I'm gonna
want to sit back down and not just leave me here to my own devices.
No, I'm thinking I'm gonna finish this cup right here.
Well, who am I to stop your ass from hitting that seat?
That's true. And you know what, lady, if you find yourself in need of a place to stay in this evening, my offer is open to you, but none of your friends.
It sounds to me like I'm a lucky lady, not just a little one, so...
I would say the luckiest lady in the bar.
Oh, feeling so lucky. Well, I'm going to take all my luck back over there, and, if it runs out, I'll come a knocking.
He leans heavy on the bar, more heavy than he intended, and puts his hand to his mouth and blows you a kiss as you leave.
Oh, what is that? Oh,
it's pig shit.
I come waddling back over to the group. Well, I have good news and bad news. Bad news is that for sure something crawled up inside of him and died. Good news is I got some information about Tamius's nephew.
Right, but before that, so I take it there's nothing more happening here. That's it. That was the end.
Would you?
I mean, no, but...
Look, Glowfra may be thirsty on the riggity rig, but she is not that thirsty.
She says as she drinks.
Not that thirsty. Never have I been. Say so myself. I can grace me own mustache before I'd sleep with the likes of him. Now, where was I? Right. Tamius's nephew. Said he was caught red-handed, robbing from his uncle's house during the funeral and all that. Ran off. Who knows what he found? Rumor has it he found all of his gold.
You see Elavornith very silently grab 2 silver pieces from the pile that's in the table that was definitely not there when you left, and puts it back in her pouch.
And you see Orphan go and split, because I think we put, how much was it 2. Total? You put 2.
Yeah.
I put 1.
We all get our coins back. It all failed.
Nothing happened.
That's right. I won, and I didn't have to soil the shits, if you know what I mean.
Is that
I don't.
You know, because of the rolling around and he's dirty.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, about his nephew.
Right. Well, I told you what I know. I tried to get the location of the house, but it seems maybe a little suspicious, even in his drunken state, to be asking about the house in which his nephew robbed during the funeral, if you know what I mean.
Well, I mean, perhaps we could be asking some other folk that are in here, figure out where to go. We're here to pay respect.
This is what I said. I thought we should offer our condolences. Maybe we can find the tracks of his nephew.
Right?
They keep also hinting at the fact he's an adventurer. Is this something I should be concerned about? Look, whatever that man did in his own spare time, no matter how devious, it's none of my business.
Right. I will say, for everyone's knowledge here, this would be common knowledge to all of you. One, this party of people is uncommon in itself. It is not often we see elves in human lands and in the lands of men. It is almost as infrequent that we see Dunedain in the lands of men. And most people this side of the Misty Mountains have a sort of upturned nose opinion of adventuring. It's not a real job. You're just more of a vagabond with a sword. You're just one step above a bandit kind of thing. There's so many more things you could be doing with your time that are of benefit to literally anybody. So most people have a sort of negative opinion or at best like a you're dangerous opinion of adventurers.
You know, now that I'm thinking about it, if old Tamius was in fact such a adventurer, I imagine he's got a few things in his house more than just gold. He might have little treasures and trinkets. He might have stories written down his adventures. I bet he's got a journal. I'm thinking maybe we could check it out and I could, copy his stories down. The fact of the matter is I've been waiting on Bilbo Baggins to open his door for months and he ain't not going to do it, I don't think. So I'm going to have to maybe move on and get my stories elsewhere. And this is, think about it, it's another hobbit gone on an adventure. I wonder what he's saying. Mm-hmm. Maybe he needs his fence fixed.
Well, I mean, I'm all good and fine and dandy about, fixing fences, because that's what I do. But I don't want to be going on adventuring.
Well, we're not adventuring. We're investigating, technically.
Just traveling, really.
Yeah, we're just a little travel, a little investigating, little condolences. Seems like the proper thing to do. And if we just happen to find something, well, then that is, fate. It's meant to be. But no adventuring here. Mm-mm.
I mean, when you put it that way, no, we're not adventuring. We're just invested. We're paying condolences.
It's true. Plus, we can't sit here drinking every night. I've got to do something.
I'm running out to go in. I need to do work.
There could be a fence needs mending.
What do you say, El? Shall we?
Oh, you mean me? I'm sorry. I'm still. Please, Elavornith. If you wish to go send your condolences, I'm obligated to go with you and escort you.
It's been 20 plus years and never mind. Yes, fine. No worries. Well, if the party's going that direction, then why not?
What about you, Urgoth? Where the road can be dangerous. We may need a good sword on our side. Mm-hmm.
Urgoth kind of picks up on your little and he kind of chugs the last bit of his ale and slams it down and goes, you're right. This is getting pretty boring and I like to stretch my legs. So I think anything is better than sitting here for a minute longer and watching drunk people come through.
Is it day or night outside? We haven't been out in a few days.
Exactly my point.
It is currently nighttime.
Traveling at night's a dangerous thing. We could just wait till daylight. Does Willie have a hobbit hole?
Put that on a fucking t-shirt.
I meant it in pure, genuine. Does Willie have a hobbit hole?
Well, that's anywhere near here. It'd take a couple of weeks for us to go back home. And I'd as much as I want to be hospitable, I'm Hayward. I don't quite have enough space to house multiple guests. However,
so what? So we just stay here for the night.
I'd like to point out real quick a thing we may have overlooked. Typically, you don't go adventuring alone, right?
Well, we're not adventuring.
I didn't say us.
Oh.
Talking about Timaeus.
Oh yeah, no, he had mates. They were rather devious, is my understanding. Little, rough around the edges.
Who would we find the mates? Find the mates, we'll probably find Timaeus. Or parts of him.
Oh dear.
Does anybody here look like they are drinking from the loss of their friend? Like mournful inebriation?
Like
no.
the four guys in the corner?
Or
were they pointing at us when they said adventure?
No, those four guys, they do look unsavory. But roll me riddle. Elverneth. Glowfrom, does anyone look like they're deep in their cups at the loss of family and friends? No.
Yeah.
No one around here looks really too mournful at all, right?
Okay.
There is the loss of someone in town, but all of the chatter in the tavern is about this scandal. Possibly about who Timaeus may have been. You hear a few things about adventurer. You hear a few things about, unwholesome, unsavory characters that he may have traveled with. But a lot of it is about how Timaeus, not Timaeus, his nephew, Thomas, was not at the funeral and was, now that kind of caught ransacking the abode here.
So I don't actually have riddle.
That's fine. Any skill is rollable.
You can just roll. It's a 1d6, so I think you have to put a bonus die in as the one, but it'll be always one die.
Should automatically do it.
It did it earlier for me. Oh, I missed on my book.
It didn't earlier for me, so.
Oh. I got a feat success.
Yeah, see, well, it doesn't matter. Nicely done.
Did you?
Yeah.
It just for
great
future sake,
if I
it
have
does say. Oh, so go ahead.
Mine didn't load. All I see is dots roll.
I was gonna say it does mark it as 0. So future.
So
rolls,
basically,
we
you
put
your
one.
future. If you don't, you have to put in the 1 manually for the bonus die, even though it's not a bonus die. But
There
that's
we go.
you did. You got the Gandalf symbol on the 12. Nicely done for that feat success.
Yeah.
So you can still roll a dice. So you don't have to put the 1 in. You just don't roll a d6. You only roll the feat die. If you don't have pips in there, you only roll the feat die.
I thought you always rolled 1. Okay.
Which means usually, based on your target numbers, you cannot succeed that roll unless you get a Gandalf rune. So which you did.
Which is fantastic.
You look over at those 4 surly gentlemen, and Elverneth, you're traveled, right? You are probably one of the most traveled people in this group. As you kind of look over them, you're fairly certain they are some sort of brigand or a highwayman or some sort of lawless cretin. They could be associated with Timaeus. There's no indication they are, but they do seem like the unlawful sort. They seem to be keeping to their own. They may be some sort of group of unsavory types. They're not really interacting with the town, and they don't seem to be talking about or mourning the loss of Timaeus, is what you get from that great success. And Glowfrom, I answered your thing. Yeah, so that's the information you guys have.
I can't remember if anybody other than me out of character mentioned them. But
no one did. You guys just saw them. They are an existing presence in this place.
I will not mention them then. Because they're not the kind of people that we're looking for.
Great. Speaking of them, and not looking for them, as you all decide what is and is not an adventure, and when it is the best time to not adventure and just investigate, the door to the Prancing Pony smashes open with a force. Elverneth, because you were looking at them, you see the door wrench open and smash into the larger of the 4 people, and he spills his ale across the table and on his 3 companions, all of whom stand up. You see the door explode open, and a young Breelander, probably 18 to 20, something like early 20s, stumbles in, white as a sheet, muttering and mumbling something, and passes out on the floor.
Immediately, Orphan runs over and would like to check. We'll start checking what does the person look like?
He is a young man, a mop of like straw-colored hair, dirty. He's got dirt around his fingernails, dirt on like his collar, like the cuffs of his sleeves are dirty. His front is like he just kind of maybe got handed to in the parking lot out there. His eyes sort of flutter open, and for like it comes in waves, right? Like he's like in and out of consciousness, and because you're over him, Orphan, you hear him muttering something about ghosts. I saw
It's all right.
a monster. There's a monster. It ate it.
Come on now,
It ate
lad. Can I pour some? I take a little bit of the ale and just kind of pour it into his mouth a little bit.
No, your hand is brushed away by Elavornith, who is a trained healer, and she just brushes your hand away and starts looking for injuries.
Okay, cool. Roll me. Is it actually healing? Yeah, roll me healing.
Yeah, healing.
Oh, failure.
Yeah, so you look over him, and to the best of your ability, you don't see any wounds on this person. His chest heaves and his eyes flutter in and out of consciousness. And again, you hear the same thing that Orphan hears. He is muttering something about you hear the words ghosts, monsters, it was eating it. Those are the three phrases you're able to make out from him as he comes in and out of consciousness, as you kind of push Orphan aside. But as far as you can tell, this man has suffered no injuries.
Does that sound familiar to me at all?
Ghosts, monsters, and eating things?
Yeah. Can I roll a lore for that?
Let me see. I think,
especially because I've been in the area for quite a while.
Yes. Yeah. Is there shadow lore? You can roll me a lore.
Just a quick question for
yes,
Mike. You said so. There's no injuries, but he seems to be repeating the phrase and all that.
Another feat success.
Well,
Jesus Christ. The last game we played with Aris, she rolled all like fucking multiple successes, and it's just carrying over.
You know what? I need a win.
Yeah, take him where you get him.
Take it. Yep.
Paul, I'm sorry. Say that question again. He's repeating that phrase. He's not like repeating it. He just sort of mumbled those three phrases.
There's no like physical harm. Like,
correct.
No
yeah, that looks like there's no wounds. He's not bleeding. There's no bruising on his body. He just mumbled those sort of three things. Both when he entered the place, he kind of mumbled something about that, and then when he collapsed, and now that Elveneth and Orphan are over the top of him, they both heard that in more detail.
Okay.
Shit.
If once I get the opportunity, I'd like to kind of take a look too.
Yeah. You can do that as well. A great success on this. Outstanding. You piece together what the hell could be Ghost, Monster, and eating him. Ghost sort of comes up as possibly like it could be a barrow wight. They're ghost-like as far as you understand, but the barrows aren't close enough to hear. If this young man saw a barrow wight, he would have had to have been running here for days, which could explain his current state. But barrow wights, as far as you know, don't eat people, and really only stay in like a specific area. So once he escaped that area, he should have been fine. Everyone knows not to go to the Barrow Downs. That's where all the corpses are and the barrow wights are, so you just avoid that place.
My own question, what are barrow wights? I've never heard.
So they are wights that live in the barrows. Not to sound like an ass, a wight is like a think of Game of Thrones.
Phantomish.
Think of Game of Thrones, like the White Walkers.
Okay.
Would be the closest I can kind of get. Plus,
they're kind of a ghoul, undeadly.
Yeah, they're like a ghostly ghoul. Is the closest I can get to. Usually, they're spirits that can physically manifest. And these ones are called barrow wights because they live in the barrows. They are wights that are unique to the barrows. And anyone around here would know. Perhaps not Urgoth, but everyone from Eriador would know. We don't go to the Barrow Downs, especially at night, because chances are you don't come out of there.
Basically, skinwalkers.
Yeah, they're not a fun time. However, Elveneth, that doesn't match with Monster or eating him. I mean, it could match with Monster, but definitely doesn't match with eating him. Perhaps wargs. The goblins have been known to come down from the mountains, but this is really close to civilization. They're not that would. So nothing that you can think of would be here and fit that description that would make any sense this close to Bree.
While
which is strange.
We're checking on him, you said he came inside. Did the door close behind him?
It did not.
I would like to go over to the door and kind of run out of the prancing pony and look around and make sure nothing followed him.
Okay, yeah. You run out, kind of leap over his splayed out legs, and wrench around the door. Nothing. There's nothing here. In fact, most of the people that are out and about at this time of night, like tying up ponies and that kind of thing, are all looking in confusion from down the lane where the boy came from and towards the prancing pony. And
can I roll a scan to see? Are there tracks? Did anything follow him and leave? Where did he come from?
You don't even need to roll scan for that. You can look, and everyone outside is looking down the road where he came from. The only thing down there besides other houses, because all the shops would be closed right now, is the graveyard.
Could I walk? I'm gonna pick up my spear
Mhm.
and I'm gonna walk up to the boy. And does he look like? To me, what it sounds like is he looks like he's in shock. Is there a way for me to kind of like confirm that or take a? Like
Yeah,
a check
roll
to see
me
if he's-
roll me healing.
Oh shit!
because I was going to say the other thing I was going to. Oh, because I was gonna. So at this time, you could see Orphan reach into a pouch and pull out some leaves and kind of crush it and kind of just waft it underneath the boy's nose, trying to basically calm him down and bring him back to his senses, if possible, if there's no physical hurt.
Yeah. Yeah. So you grind these leaves into like a pseudo poultice in your hand, and sort of put them under his nose like smelling salts. And his eyes flutter open, and you can see he's still like heaving breath. Right. This boy was exhausted. He looks up to water. He looks up to you, and his eyes sort of flutter, and he looks to you with like a confused, like how, like a kind of who the hell are you? How did I get here? Kind of look as he's laying on his back in a tavern. And then he looks to Elverneth. Elverneth, are you? This is such a fucking weird question. Are you outwardly an elf? Like, do you have like a hood up to cover your ears, or do you look openly elvish?
I have a hood up to cover my ears. However, since I'm kind of leaning over him as well, he can probably see them.
Okay.
Because the hood is a little bit looser. It hangs. So as I'm kind of leaning over him, he does see an elf.
Okay. He looks to you, Orphan, first with a what the hell's happening here kind of look like his face is screwed up and he's like looking at you confused. And then you see his eyes drift over to Elvereth, and all of that confusion like melts away as he looks at the wonder of an elf, seeing your ears sort of making little tents inside your hood. He's never seen an elf before, and never one this close to his face. You're a good foot away from him. He is completely flabbergasted as he stares up at you, and his jaw goes a little slack as he slowly comes to. What are you guys saying to him? Yes.
I like to see if I can kind of help him sit up a little bit.
Yeah,
like,
you can
like
absolutely
be a support.
Yeah, you can absolutely
like ease him into and be like, okay, all right, take it easy. What is going on?
Okay. Urgoth, you sort of help him up into a sitting position. While this is happening, I'll jump back to you, Paul. While the three of you are sort of tending to this, Glow, from you as a purveyor of noises and sounds and words, you can hear something coming from the inside. And Willie, you can see something happening from the inside as, you're watching the scene unfold. Willie, you see it first. Perhaps Elverneth, Orphan, and Urgoth don't see it because they're so over the top of this young man. The four people at the table that had their drink spilled when the door smashed open, not having a good time. There is some slamming of chairs. There is some moving around. There is some posturing happening. And Glow, from you hear this as well, because you are just on the opposite side of the door. You can hear through the door that there is some noises happening adjacent to your friends who are taking care of this young man. What, if anything, are the two of you doing?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna go ahead and Willie's gonna head on over there. Like most hobbits typically ignored, walking through crowds, and kind of do like a hello, hi, pleasure meeting you. My name is Willahad, and I just wanted to know if you fellas are interested in some wares, and underneath my vest, I'm going to go ahead and do one of the creepy open up my vest a little bit, and I've got an assortment of gold and silver dangly bits in there. Be it like a pocket watch, rings, necklaces, or the things that are a bit dirtier, perhaps a little rusted. But each of you fellows there, you look like you could use a little bit of spit and shine in your life.
What is actually hanging in there?
I think things like pocket watches, rings.
Okay, I see what you're. I see
found.
what. Yeah, I see what you're doing. And I come over kind of next to them, and I play into the ruse. Is that a genuine dwarven timekeeper?
Well, I'm so glad that you decided to pick that one out of everything that I've got here. I'm going to go ahead and take it out and kind of hold it up. Do a little one of these, shine it up a bit. This is absolutely a rare timepiece from the dwarves. You know, I found this while I was traveling between the towns. And a little dwarves party had come through, was able to trade it off of an elder. This is quite a valuable piece, rumored to have come from 4 generations beyond. Would you be interested in it,
Willie?
Gentlemen?
Roll me a persuade with a bonus of +1 for Glowfrom's assistance in this ruse.
Right. +1.
Fucking salesman tries to sell to bandits.
Look, I'm trying to be a distraction, okay? How about take an extraordinary success?
Okay. Woo! All right. Cool. So, an extraordinary success. What that means is on your D6 pool, you rolled multiple 6s. So usually what that means is a success plus an additional effect for every 6 you roll. Yeah, so, well done. Way to avoid a bar brawl. So you see, the two of you combine this ruse, here, and you, what are you buying? These four outlaws, and they are very fucking confused right now. The door smashed open, one of them got hit, they spilled beer everywhere, there's a kid on the floor, this dwarf's trying to sell a pocket watch, this hobbit's over here taking a shirt out, and there's so much is happening here. They are immediately overwhelmed by all of the shit going on. 2 of them just sit back down, like the fight has sort of left them. The third one is still standing, and he's like slack-jawed, looking to what is clearly his boss, and you, and like, are we about to roll this hobbit right now? What the fuck's happening? And the large one, who got the door smashed into him, just looks down to you, and he says, "The audacity of this little hobbit here, he's coming out and, what? Well, I never. No." He looks at you, no, and he very insultingly rubs your hair and just sort of like palms your head like a toddler and just moves you out of the way as he walks by and basically like through this medical scene, like he steps over this young man and kind of between Orphan and Elverneth as he walks to the bar, and you see him gruffly demand new ales, to which Barnaby, who just is fucking over it, gives him a few new ales for the table, kind of looks to you and Glowfrom and just sort of like shrugs and kind of gives you like a thanks for not causing a bar fight head shake. And the guy comes back. Well done to just avoid my planned bar fight. 10 out of 10. Back to
we'll do again.
Yeah. Back to Urgoth. Don't worry, I'll have him come back. This is not the last you've seen of him. Back to Urgoth. You have this young man in a sitting position as this burly brigand sort of moves around you. And what are you asking him? You kind of got him upright. Orphan has him back to his senses, and Elverneth has him fucking entranced. So what are you asking him?
More so, I'm kind of trying to support him to gather his thoughts and kind of calm him down. And then I'm kind of just moving, like I'm just making sure like take a breath, relax, you're safe. And then I kind of like lean back a little bit as once I know he's kind of like getting up and like sitting up. And then I leave it to Orphan and Eleanor. Sorry, I'm gonna butcher that name. So sorry.
Eleanor.
Sorry. Can you just say it once for me? Sorry.
You're muted.
You're muted.
Yep, I was muted. Ella Vornith.
Ella Vornith. That's the Vornith is what's getting me. Okay, Ella Vornith, and I kind of look to you guys like,
Seeing this guy is obviously like having a hard time looking anywhere but me. I will say, what is it that you saw?
Good question. Please roll me a persuade.
Oh, great. I'm awful at that.
Don't worry, you'll roll a feat success out of nowhere.
No, I don't.
He is literally in shock and awe. He is in shock from whatever just happened, and he sees you, and like you can see that he like looks at your mouth and understands that there are words coming out, and you just see him like sort of glazed over, just nod at whatever you're saying.
Do I notice that he's kind of like,
oh yeah. It is obvious. Yeah.
I silently roll my eyes.
Great.
While if that's happening, like you see Orphan like gently put his hand on Elvornith's shoulders. He goes, one moment, let me try. And he like pushes like, look here, lad, this way.
Sort of
right here.
Pushes Elvornith out of the way. You may also roll me a persuade, KP.
He's gonna turn his head manually.
No.
Excuse me. Please stop.
Please, being the gorgeous you, please.
Is that
a fail?
That is a failure. Hot damn! You guys are
the 2 persuade.
I know, right? Yeah. Only you rolled a 1 on one of those. That's why a 3 and a 1. Yeah. He looks to you and like he does come out of that daze, right? He is more lucid now. Like the whatever sort of poultice you crushed up is taking its effect. He looks around. He like is taking in where he is. And you see him like look to you and he says, "Who are you? What's it?"
I mean, we're just a bunch of we're here to drink. We're patrons of this location, this tavern. But you're the one who barged into this entire establishment, screaming and yelling and being quite incoherent. So, are you all right? First and foremost, how do you feel?
I'm fine. I have to. I have to go. And he puts his hand on the ground and tries to sit up. Like tries to get to his feet. What?
Does he look like he's about to topple over?
He does not. He is between what Orphan gave him and what you guys have done to him. He looks like whatever happened might have been shock and exhaustion, and that's sort of ebbing at this moment. And he is trying to get to his feet, but you're all kind of crowding him.
I'm gonna take.
I give him room.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna get up and like kind of let him get up as well, but I want to like not like get in his way so he doesn't run for the exit. And I kind of want to do that inconvenience, like, whoa, wait, hold on. Are you sure you're fine? You came in pretty, you seemed really out of it. You sure you're okay? You don't remember anything?
No, I'm fine. I must have been I must have been overworked. Everything's fine.
I don't know the rules of this game. Is there like an insight thing?
There is. I was literally about to ask. Yeah, if you'd like, you can roll. I think it is literally insight.
Oh, I guess that answers my question. Wow, I should read. Okay, I don't know. Are you fuck?
Sorry. Wow, guys, hot diggity damn. Cool. A 2 and a.
Can I also roll?
Yeah. The 3 of you.
I even got a 6 too. That's what
you did.
Up.
Yeah, they only help if you succeed, though.
But
if you'd like to orphan as well, you're there. You can all kind of insight
What is
this
it
guy.
that we're rolling? Insight?
If you'd like to roll insight, you can roll insight.
I have nothing. So just straight roll. Do I do anything special again for if you don't have anything in it?
No,
roll
you
it.
Press it. You
Just
press
click
it.
the button.
Yep.
Okay.
And you hope for a
No.
12.
No.
Okay. Yeah, you see this young man. He's trying to get out of here. It does sound strange to you that he said maybe I was overworked because it's nighttime. But he is trying to, like, he has one hand on the ground. He sort of places one on, like, Orphan's shoulder, since you're, like, the closest one to him, and tries to, like, hoist himself up, as if he's going to try to leave. I will say, Willie, you are there. You're adjacent to this, right now, if you'd like to interject anything. The table you're at is essentially, like, 3 or 4 feet away from this kid.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, like, as concerned as I'm about the kid, I'm a bit more concerned about these ghosts and monsters and whatever caused them. So the fact that the door is still open, I'm gonna go ahead and kind of I guess follow Glowfrom's lead again, and take a little peek outside. It's
What are you looking for?
is there anything like tracks that seem beastly
You can
in nature?
You can roll me a scan.
Okay, I've actually got I'm pretty good at scan. I've got it checked off. So is there anything else I got to be doing today?
Nope. The checked off just means when you roll the feat die, it's advantage on the feat die, and it does it automatically for you.
Pew! Oh no, got myself a failure.
Okay.
Close,
that was close. You look down, and there are, as far as you can tell, there are no tracks other than humanoid booted tracks, right? Like it's a bit of a muddy and like pseudo cobblestone situation, and all the tracks are like boots. Nothing monstrous. In fact, there are, as Glowfrom had seen, there are still people just milling about in the streets, like wrapping up for like the end of the night. So this young man must have sprinted from somewhere, seeing this raving about these ghosts and monsters, but not here in the town. Like not here in the town proper.
Okay, then I'm gonna go ahead and walk back to the party then. Now interested in what the lad has seen. Gonna go ahead and take out my pipe, light it up a little bit, and kind of just hand it up to Elavornith as if to like guide her to pop it in the man's mouth. Just
like put your pipe in his mouth.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't reach.
That's true. You can't reach.
Let this take a little load off. If you don't mind, here, this will help you calm down. You can tell us what happened.
Because
I offer him the pipe, but I will not put it in his mouth. I am not Willie.
I can imagine Willie like Eleanor, and Eleanor was like, "Do you want some?"
Question for you, Willie. Is this run-of-the-mill Breelander pipeweed, or is this pipeweed from, say, the West Farthing?
Ooh, it's a stranger. I don't really know him. This is just run-of-the-mill Bree.
Okay.
Pipeweed. I'm not gonna bring out the good stuff, you know.
Okay.
Not that top shelf things.
Yeah, not the top shelf
We
pipeweed.
reserve that for friends and guests. It's not a guest in my home.
Okay, fair enough. In that case, roll me a persuade with a bonus of +1.
All right, I can go ahead and do that. Let's see if anybody else can get some dice rollies in today. A little bit there. Oh,
hot damn. Okay.
Oh,
so cool. So many wines.
this is
Right?
so effed.
Right?
Nice.
This is a good time. Yeah, you lift up the pipe to Elverneth, who offers it to the young man.
If I use the good stuff, can I get the 2 extra points?
If you used the good stuff, it would have given you a bonus +2 instead of the +1, which would still have only put you at 14.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Sorry.
Sorry, buddy.
Had to ask, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's good. It was a good sell. It was a good sell. It was definitely not worth a +3. Even Pipeweed from the West Farthing was not a +3. Yeah, so you offer up this pipe to him, and you sort of entice him to sit down. There is a sort of like wooze and rock to this young man. He did just pass out, and you don't just spring back up and start running again. He pushes away this stranger's pipe, and he kind of like swats it away from him, and he looks down to you and looks around to everyone, and you're all kind of like crowding him a little bit. And there's more of you, despite Willie being half the size of everyone here. The surly dwarf lady makes up the difference, and he kind of nods to your request to take a load off, but everyone around can sense that there is a little bit of trepidation, right? Like, it's not like yeah, you guys seem like nice people. It's more of yeah, you guys seem like, that wasn't a question. It was more of a command. So yeah, he follows you back to wherever you're leading him, to wherever you want to sit him down with.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and guide him back to our table, and just kind of wave over to Barnaby for a drink, obviously for the young lad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he comes over, confused about what's happening, but like he kind of has like that quizzical, like, what the fuck, what's going on with this kid? And he places down like a handful of ales, and he leans over to you because you're the one that flagged him down, and he says, That's young Thomas. What happened? I heard him muttering about a monster.
I don't know yet. We'll let you know once we figure it out.
Right, well, keep an eye on your pockets. And he gives you a nod. The implication there is that is Thomas Heatherton. He looks around at the five of you, sort of in your chairs and tables as he sat there. And he looks back and forth from each one of you. He says, okay, I'm sitting.
Mr. Heatherton? Heatherton. First off, I just want to be the first of my friends here to offer my condolences to your family. I can't imagine the hardship that you all will be going through. Doesn't quite explain, though, what you're doing here now, shouting about monsters and ghosts. What sort of ghosts are you seeing?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, now that's very rude. You don't have to lie to us about it.
We
heard what we heard. So
I didn't see no. I don't know. I didn't see no ghosts.
Nothing eating no one.
He is white again, like panic white. No, I've never seen anything eat nobody. Ain't never. I've never seen ghosts. I've never seen anything like that in the graveyard.
How far out of town were you? In the graveyard.
No, I don't know. I wasn't. I was staying. I was in town. I stay here. This is where I live.
Does he look like he's lying?
Or yeah, for sure. Yeah, no roll needed. He is absolutely. There's nothing. It looks like he is absolutely trying to say what he needs to say to get out of this and bumbling his words.
Could I kind of walk over him, and I'm going to take my very, very well and kept spear and kind to not stab him. Just clarifying. I'm going to stab like downwards next to him. Kind of like close enough to kind of give an impact.
He is sitting in a chair now.
Oh, okay. So it's a long
back
spear.
at the table.
Okay, yes, yeah. So I'll like stab it onto the table or next to him on the chair, wherever within the proximity. And I kind of like loom over his shoulder, and I kind of like use my physique to kind of like tower over him. And I go, listen, you came in here speaking of things that concern myself and my friends here, and I think the my group here would be very appreciative if you were honest about how you're feeling.
Okay. What am I going to have you roll for this? I think it's not quite awe. It's not quite enhearten. I'm going to have you roll persuade.
Damn it.
You have two dice in that. It's one of your better skills.
Check marks. Check marks always mean better. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Persuade.
Unfortunately, awe is like a respect, like people respect you, and enhearten is like they have a positive outlook on you, and scaring someone doesn't give you a positive outlook. Unfortunately, buddy.
Damn it.
Yeah, roll me a persuade.
Come on. I fucking hate this. Fuck.
I'm so sorry, guys. Dot, to fill you in, the brigands have been ossaged, and Thomas has tried to leave and has been persuaded to rejoin you in your little corner of the Prancing Pony and have a sit down with you. Thomas is the young man who passed out on the floor.
Right. Okay. I just want to make sure I have the right person. Okay. Cool.
Yep. And
we also the bartender told us that he is the nephew of Timaeus Heatherton.
And I think this is important. He came in frazzled saying monsters eating, and now he is acting as if he didn't say it and that he's okay.
It's like, oh no, yeah.
Oh no. So I just tried to scare him and it didn't work.
Okay.
Yes. So that's what you have caught in on. So you're here.
I picked my head up from the table, very clearly very drunk from the drinking earlier, and
I say, what? I'm so sorry. What did I miss?
According to him, not much.
I was leaving, I think.
You look like you're doing well.
I would like to think so, and I think I would like to get back to exactly what I was. I think I'd like to go home.
Oh, Jesus. Wouldn't we all like to go home? Why don't you instead stay here and have a drink with us?
I think
a drink would do you good after everything you've been through tonight.
Okay. I think I can handle a free drink.
I just want to say, I look over to Willie and be like, damn it, that usually works. And I kind of lean back and I sit back down.
Yeah, no.
Scary face is such a success usually.
So I would like to, while I'm smoozing him and waving for more drinks I don't need, I would like to scan him up and down. Does he look like he's been digging in the graveyard?
What a specific question to ask, Dot. Since you know what, since your question was so specific, roll scan.
You say scan?
Oh no.
Welcome to the party. None of us have
make
a roll.
Dude, that is wild.
That's rough. So what I will say, because part of your question was already answered previously.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. It wasn't to you. You look the boy over, and you do see there is dirt under his fingernails. There is dirt on the cuffs of his sleeves. There's dirt like hand wipes on his chest. There's dirt around the cuffs of his pants. He looks like he's been in dirt. That's what I'll say. A success would have garnered you a more specific answer.
Glowfrom continues. Yeah, no. What was his name?
Thomas.
Thomas. You know Thomas. I imagine after everything you've been through with your uncle, you must be a sad fellow.
Yeah.
You look like a hard-working fella. I can tell by the dirt under your fingernails.
Okay.
Would you say you're a hard-working fella? What do you do to make a coin, Timothy?
This and that.
Thomas. Sorry, I've had a few to drink.
It's okay. I just assume all dwarfs are. I do this and that around.
Do this and that. You have a craft. You teach.
No. I'm more of a a jack of all trades.
Oh, little this, little of that. How'd you get your hands so dirty?
The dirt.
Yeah, just regular old farming. You do some of that too. Gardening.
Yeah, just planting out at the house.
Oh yeah, at your house over on the farm.
Yeah. That's my uncle's house. That's where I'll be staying there.
Oh, you're taking over your uncle's farm.
Right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's
all them fields by yourself.
That's what it is. And he takes a big swig out of his flagon.
You sure must have worked quite a lot in less than 24 hours since his death to get to that dirty.
Well, he did die about a week ago, but yeah.
Do you not bathe?
Well, I was just working just now. I was just working.
Not even before your uncle's own funeral.
I was working. It was too. I think a half a nail is good.
Armor around him.
Of course you do.
Thomas.
Yes, ma'am.
You know,
ma'am?
I think you should finish this ale. Don't the rest of you think you should finish his ale? Who leaves half their drink undrank? We are not a glass half full kind of table. We are a glass empty.
We're a glass empty kind of table. Okay. Jesus Christ.
He looks around the table. I'm sure everybody has various states of smile. Elevornith is looking at him completely stone cold, like face
it must
mask.
He scans the group of you, and there's that moment where he's like looking at each different person, and his face is like stern, and then it's like anime sparkle eyes, and then back to stern as he gets back to like the other people.
It must be hard having your uncle not leave you nothing but farmland to till. Rough life.
What do you mean? How do you know?
Nothing but farmland? Your uncle didn't have nothing else to leave you?
You're not even from. How do you know?
Well,
who are you talking to?
I knew Timaeus.
Who are you?
Please.
Well, I'm Willie. I repaired his fences of the farmland.
I've never seen you before.
Well, because I'm always out around the perimeters. Nobody ever pays attention to little Willie.
Hiding behind fences.
That's not going to get old at all, ever.
So, Timothy.
Thomas.
I just want to tell you that I like you, and that doesn't happen very often. So I'm going to let you in on a little secret. You got the short stick, me friend. If the rest of your family got all that he had left and all you got was dirty farms. Tisk tisk. Must be a pretty sad day for a Thomas.
It's not the best.
I mean, that is unless your uncle decided the most valuable thing he had, he'd take with him to the grave.
You see him go pale again. The same shade he was when someone mentioned the graveyard last time.
Oh, Tommy, let's get this boy another drink. He's gone pale on us once more. His grief, he is stricken.
I just slide him my hardly touched ale.
I assume everyone has a full cup right now and is just leaning over, leering at this kid. Well, maybe not Glowfrom. Doesn't have a full cup. You slide your ale across, and he finishes his, puts it down, and sort of slides it over. He says, "I don't know. Maybe that's I don't know. That's not something I would." That's not something I would know anything about. I'm not a grave digger or grave keeper or anything. And he starts to mumble into his cup.
Doesn't dig holes.
Well, it's a good thing you don't do something bit salacious like that. I
Oh.
mean, I do believe some sort of grave digging is probably against the law around these parts. Best
And I
to leave
imagine-
those that are dead to the dead.
Yes. I imagine that you, as a farmer, don't have the tools necessary to even dig holes or graves.
No, I wouldn't. That's
No shovels or buckets.
no. I mean, I'm sure that I could find one if they were like around, but I don't. I'm still new to the whole farming situation, and
Must be why you're digging with your hands. They're so dirty.
That's from harvesting plants.
Harvesting plants.
Harvest.
Yeah.
It's not time to harvest yet. It's a little bit early.
It's herbs. Herbs are it's herbs. It's time to harvest
Really?
herbs.
What herbs? The ones I put on your lip, under your nose earlier.
Yeah.
Name them. I'm a connoisseur myself. Clearly, I'd love to know what do you grow.
Felgares and Arthurdane.
Look at this new little farmer.
Those are not herbs. Both
Yeah,
of you.
I know they're not, but I'm going to let him think. I love those. They're so good on top of, a good cured salted meat.
Yeah. Yes. Yep. They are, and that's what I was doing. That's what I was getting them for meat.
After everything you've been through this evening, we, as the good citizens of Bray, could not possibly let you walk home alone. What kind of friend would we be? Plus, you're a little tipsy. You shouldn't drink so much.
No, I think I could. I think I could probably. I think I'm fine.
No, let us walk you all the way back to your uncle's house where you're living now, right?
Actually, I think I still have some work to do.
Oh, tonight
late
you
in-
said you wanted to go home.
Yes, it's quite
Did
late,
I
isn't
say
it?
that? I don't think I remember saying that. I think.
Oh, when I came to at the table, you was talking about leaving, but then I convinced you to have 2 more drinks and basically
Yeah.
confessed to the fact that you have taken over your uncle's farm looking for something.
No,
You sure you don't want us to walk you
I
home?
didn't. I think-
Dangers out there. You don't want to get to run into any ghosts or monsters or things that'll be eating you.
What? Why would there? What do you think? What do you think could be out? What do you think could be out there eating people?
Oh, lots of things. I mean, we've come across what? We've come across wargs, we've come across whites, we've come across.
Oh, don't forget about the goblins.
Oh,
And
yes.
if I get hungry enough, I'll eat just about anything.
Well, that's true.
Do you think?
He's not lying.
Do you think that anything out there might eat dead bodies?
Oh, loads of things.
Like what kind of things?
Well,
All
nothing too
kinds of
savory
things.
to talk about
And
such.
you know what do you have to worry about? You're not a dead body.
Well, that's true.
Yeah,
You
but
haven't
if
been
you
in
go off
contact with
alone-
any, have you?
No, that's
No.
a dirty business. And do you think
Let's
that?
walk you home. Come on.
Wait. Do you think that if something would eat dead bodies, it might eat living bodies also?
When you
I
sit
need-
down to have some meat at a table,
Yeah.
do you prefer it charred or just right?
Just right.
Dead bodies are kind of like charred meat, I imagine. They're a little old, not as fresh.
Anything that would eat rotten meat will eat fresh meat too.
Okay.
Oh, and old Timmy Tommy, you don't want Elevornith to have to walk herself home alone at night with such creatures out and about. She's going to need a strong lad to make sure that she's all taken care of.
You see Orphan in the back just trying to hide a smile at that thought.
Yeah, there's sparkles again.
Her facial expression does not change.
Completely placid.
I have no poker face, but Elavornith has 100% poker face.
I love it. He looks to you and he says, there is a part of there's a part of town that I'm maybe not very keen on walking by alone, just in case. Not that I saw anything or there was anything at all. If you want to, we can take a walk if you like. If that's
we are
fine.
Stronger in numbers, huh? We couldn't let you mourn and walk home alone, could we, everybody?
No, that'd be unwise.
Okay.
And unneighborly.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. And he downs the last of the flagon of ale. And still, I imagine you still have your arm around him, Glowfrim, and he like kind of attempts to step away, and that like burly dwarf arm prevents him from it. He says, "Oh, okay. We can all go at the same.
Yes, we're walking together.
The same time.
Number.
Yeah. And if we could just, if we get to the end of the road, if we could just pick up our pace a little bit, would be great.
Rush.
Right.
No reason.
Go on, Timothy. You first. You know the way home.
I'm sorry. It's Thomas.
Right, Thomas.
Thank you. He walks.
Have you ever been trolled by a dwarf, Mike?
Oh, constantly. I'm friends with Gnome. He walks around the table
because I'm Jewish. The fuck?
Wait, what the fuck?
Wow. I see how you called me little.
Oh man. He walks around the tables and chairs. You guys have given him permission to head out first, as it were. And there's he gets a few feet away from you guys, and there's a glance back to see if you guys are actually following. And then he just continues walking. Are you all actually following?
Yes, very close. And I make eyes at the group, and I mouth. Maybe you can't read it under the mustache, who knows? But I say something's not right.
I'm gonna trail back a bit.
Okay. What are you doing back there?
So as they move forward, my objective would be to just keep an eye on them, but also keep an eye on the surroundings to see if there's anything kind of tracing them, tracking them, and also behind us. I'm going to trust that they're able to see ahead, so I'm just going to be kind of pulling up the rear and looking behind us as we follow him. And I say I won't be far, just behind.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you guys follow behind him with Urgoth trailing. You guys are all in various formations around him as he faux confidently walks down the street. You see as he gets towards the end of the lane that he had mentioned before, he does cut to the right and take a wide berth. You realize collectively that he is taking a wide berth around Bree's graveyard. And he continues past this towards
No, he doesn't.
Okay.
I go.
Oh my goodness! Look at that. Just look. Would you look at that? And I walk over to the gate and I go, Timothy, come look at this. You're not even going to believe it.
He does not come when called, Timothy. He is continuing to walk. He is trying to continue to walk. However, Glowfrim, you walk over to the gate of the graveyard of Bree, and you realize one important thing. several of the graves have been dug up.
Oh,
Thomas, you're not going to believe this. Looks like somebody else has been digging with their hands.
It looks that way. Anyway, it's end of the time to go for me.
I cut eyes at Orphan, Elevornith, and Urgoth. Like, do not let this guy run. Like, something's weird here.
Can I beeline in front of him?
Yeah, you can. You're the furthest one back, so he does get a little bit further away from the graveyard. So it's not like you and him are the furthest out from the graveyard, leaving the rest of your companions closest to the graveyard.
While that's happening,
yes.
I hope this doesn't turn out in a wrong way, but what Orphan's going to do then, as soon as he sees and makes eye contact with Glorfrim, he is going to, and is Tomothy running far?
He's not running at all. He's continuing to try to walk at his same
pace.
Leave
the area. Yeah.
Okay. And is he not too far away from me then? Because I was in the back. I was.
He's a few paces away from you.
As soon as he starts that, I'm going to use my spear and kind of just poke him in the back. Like, hold up now.
Yeah, there's definitely like that. Like he stiffens up and takes like another step forward to get away from the point of that. You all said you were walking me home, and I would like to go home if that's okay.
What's the rush?
It's the end of the day. You guys gave me 2 pints, and I think it would be better if I can go from here. I don't.
Oh no, we're gonna walk you the whole way. I was just hoping maybe you could peep in at these holes, since you're such a great farmer and digger and all of that, and tell me what you think.
I think they're holes. I don't know. There's no vegetables in the graveyard, as far as I understand. It probably wouldn't be a good place to.
I've got really bad eyesight. I was hoping you could use your young and thriving youthfulness to read to me the gravestones on the ones that have been dug up.
It's dark. I can't see.
Oh,
well, don't worry about that. I've got a bright old lantern here, and I'm going to go ahead and pull up my lantern that I do have on my damn old. I actually have a lantern, and I'm going to go ahead and pull it out.
What does your lantern do? Does it do anything? Doesn't it like a fancy lantern?
Yeah, my lantern is super sexy. No, it's genuinely sexy. It's elvish.
Okay.
Elvish crafted. It is a moonlit lantern that essentially if struck by moonlight, it will assist me with scanning, like mechanically. Assist with scanning.
Cool. So you pull the lantern out. And I imagine it's like a hood on the top of it that can slide open to allow moonlight in, right? But you pull this lantern out, and in a focused beam, it illuminates a portion of the graveyard. And due to a corruption bar and a great success earlier, Elverneth, you are the first and only person to notice this. The beam cuts across the graveyard. You see a number of names on a number of gravestones. All of you see exactly what you expect to see, as one of the desecrated graves is that of Timius Heatherton. However, Elverneth, what you see is 2 footprints, not boot prints, an actual foot, toes and all, that are far too large to be a man's or a dwarf's. And what is unmistakably an ass print. And this cuts back to what you questioned earlier about ghosts and monsters and eating people. And the only thing with feet and ass that big, no, Glowfrom, not you, is a troll. And that's a good place to end the first episode of The Shattered Crown. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. There's a troll in the graveyard. So that's what you guys found. That's what you guys found. An ass print of a troll in a graveyard and a terrified little man who may have seen that. Hell yeah. That was episode 1 of The Shattered Crown. That was a fucking ride. And if you didn't like it, I don't care. This is just for us.
Tell
Tell your enemy if you didn't like it.
Yeah,
Watch it.
this is 99% for us, and you guys just get to watch it. So if you guys like what we do here and you want to support the channel, the best way to do that is over on our Patreon. While you're down there, click on that Discord, join us, be a part of the community, be a part of the conversation, talk about this show, talk about all the other shows, and if you tuned in late, catch us over on YouTube. It's going to be there. But we're going to get out of here. We're going to do our after show, which is available exclusively on our Patreon. Link again down below. And so, yeah, we're going to do our outros and get the hell out of here. And we will see you guys next week for more of that shit. So we'll start at the top of my screen. Gnome, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? What are you up to?
Wait, I'm not.
That's you. You're on top of my screen.
Oh, God. I was like, wait, no, I'm. Okay, cool. Yeah, what's up? Oh, look, it's Malik Tamir Talon.
Oh, wow. I got to make a new command.
No,
what a sad day.
Especially because Soul's not on there.
Right, you don't even have Soul on there, you ass.
Wow.
Well, someone quit the show. I don't know what to tell you.
I wonder who.
I'm Gnome. I'm here on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Follow me on the link in chat. It's fine. This is great.
Perfect. Eris, same questions. Who are you? Where can we find you? What are you up to?
Hi, I'm Eris Savad. I do a morning show with Gnome called Gnome Brew. You can catch us on Monday, Wednesday, Fridays on his channel at 9 a.m. Central Time. Hey, I'm getting the times now. Woo! This is the third time zone I've lived in 2 years, so I apologize. Yeah, you can find us tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Central Time. That's 10 to 11 Eastern. No, 8 to 9 East. I don't know. Anyways, 9 a.m. Central Time. Find us on
10 Eastern.
Novedic's channel. Thanks. And I also make things. You can release your inner Dark Lord if you go to erisavad.com and grab yourself a super, super sweet piece of jewelry. Yeah. And if you use the code Hot Dice Daddies, you also still get a nice discount. It's not as nice as it was before, but also somehow nicer because it wouldn't let me do 6.9%. So I had to give you a 7% discount.
Oh, we know what you meant.
So close. Yes.
And one day we'll release another episode for that.
Yeah.
Sometime soon. We have ideas. There were ideas that we had 6 months ago that maybe we still have. That being said, KP, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? What are you up to?
Hey, everybody. My name is KP. I go by KP Living Studios on all your socials. And outside of this fantastic first episode of this fantastic new show that I'm super excited to see where everything goes, I'm back on unMadeGaming's channel on Tuesdays on our Glenbrook Unhollowed. I don't know why. I just had the toughest time there. Which is our Tales from the Loop campaign, and Mike DMs there as well. So if you want your scary vibes in this Halloween season, come check us out over there. It's getting we're actively requesting scary stuff and weird stuff. So, you know, if that tells you anything, go check us out there. And then on Wednesdays, I have one of two things happening. I think next Wednesday or every other Wednesday we have. So next Wednesday we have the Running Feywilds campaign on Nat One Funds channel, which is a D&D campaign that we're on, and it's pure shenanigans. It's pure comedic shenanigans. I just love it. It's basically your isekai show where we play regular people that got sucked into our own game of D&D. So we're playing people or characters, which is a lot of fun. We had a cameo of Sanic on our show, which was the weirdest thing ever. Blame Dan, I don't know. But yeah, that's that. Outside of that, every Wednesday also on the Realmsmith TV channel, we're airing our Western-themed D&D game. It's pre-recorded, but it is called Tales of the Wasted West. And Dot is on there with me, the most adorable, amazing goblin. And I'm sure Dot can elaborate further on that. But come check us out. It's super, super fun. And I think we only have 24 hours. Yeah. So in the next 24 24 hours if you like that show and if you've been watching it, or if you want your own Wasteland or Western themed show or game to run, Cobalt Press, who's the sponsor of that show, is running their Kickstarter, and it's in there within like last 24 hours. So go check it out, go fund it. It's super, super cool. It's super fun. That's pretty much it.
Awesome. Well, speaking of Dot, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? What are you up to?
Hey friends, I'm Dot. You can find me where little red dots are found, mostly over there kicking it with Cobalt Press. KP is right. We are in the last run of our current Kickstarter, so the last few hours, and it's a cool little like guidebook for building your own 5e Wasteland setting, if that's something you want to do. And you can see our show, which is set in an original Wasteland setting using that guidebook. That's kind of like a Borderlands dusty Western. It's pretty dope. Goodness, the rest of the time you can find me with my podcast, Pod by Night, and then here on Wednesdays for some alien shenanigans as we round out that story that's been going for a hot minute. It'll be another show I'm closing out on your channel, Mike.
Yeah. I've actually contractually sold my soul to the devil to keep everyone here on this channel for as long as I can keep them. So far, it's working great. It's working great for me. I don't need that anyway. Yeah.
But yeah, so you can find me and Bub over there kicking it with Pod by Night. That's where I spend a lot of my time, and then the rest of the time, somehow y'all managed to get me here. So I won't be here next week, but that doesn't mean we're not having a show. Dot's gonna go turn off and go camping, y'all. Pew pew.
That's true. That's true. I will announce that after we do Paul. But Paul, last but not least, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet, and what are you up to?
Hi, my name's Paul. Thanks.
Great. Glad to have you here, buddy. Next,
Paul's awesome and talented.
Yeah, he does things with words.
Yeah, my name is Paul. You can find me on In1123. You can find me here on Thursday, and I don't really think I have anything else other than this show, so I'm chilling. And
great.
I'm really happy to be back and playing with
fans.
We're happy to have you, buddy.
You're so fine. Finally,
we are very happy to have you on here. Cool. That being said, Thursday of next week, we will not be live. We are filming this show on Monday night. Probably going to be live because why not? It's at 8 o'clock on Monday night. Yeah. So we'll do a live show on Monday night of this, and then I will do a rebroadcast for anyone that may have missed it on Thursday night, so you guys still get your fix in there. So yeah, slight shift change because Dot's disappearing out into the woods for a week. So, but we'll be back for all of our other regular scheduled shows that week. But that's it. That's it from us. I hope you enjoyed this first episode of Shattered Crown, which had nothing to do with shattering or crowns. And mostly had to do with drunken shenanigans and a butt print. With that, we're going to get out of here to our after show. Get it over on our Patreon. It'll be there tomorrow-ish. That's it. That's all I got for you guys. So from all of us to you, bye-bye.
Butts.
Butts.